PFF is running one of their biggest sales ever. 40% off a PFF Plus subscription right now using the promo code BLACKFRIDAY. That means that you get everything fully unlocked. You get the grades, you get the stats, you get all the fantasy advice, the betting advice, which our new player prop tool is available on web as well to make you a smarter, better. You've got all of the draft analysis, the free agency analysis, all of that great stuff. Subscribe.pff.com to get 40% off a year-long PFF Plus subscription. Get it now.
The Panthers are traveling to San Francisco to take on the 49ers for Monday Night Football this week. You want to talk about the Panthers as they're coming off of their big win, and you want to talk about the Niners coming off their big win?
I want to talk about Carolina's offense. I got to talk about Bryce Young, right? All the Carolina Panthers fans that watch this show, they want to hear about Bryce Young, and they can hear more about him tomorrow when I have my film breakdown on Bryce Young.
There we go.
And why he won that Falcons game and the confidence that he played with against Atlanta, throwing for almost 450 yards. And look, what do we want to see now, Trev? It's great that you do great things once. Do it again. You got to stack good weeks. If he can do that and stack good weeks throwing down the field, the Panthers can make a playoff push, right? They got 2 games against the Bucs, who have been struggling lately. This is a massive game right here against a solid 49er team on the road, also in the playoff race. But Bryce Young last week, okay, 92.2 passing grade on 10-plus yard throws. Through week 10, he had the second worst passing grade in the league on these throws. Weeks 9 through 18 of last year, he had the best passing grade in the league, I think tied with Justin Herbert on 10-plus yard throws. Which Bryce Young is it? Or is he a second-half quarterback, and we got to wait till week 10 to get this great Alabama version of Bryce Young? But you see it right there. The ability for him to make vertical throws down the field, I think, is going to be the key to the rest of their season, right? Because you saw it just opens everything else up. Then it opens the intermediate routes. You force teams into zone coverage. They start sitting back and turning and running, going, okay, McMillan can get downfield. Leggett can get downfield. They have downfield threats. Jalen Coker as well. Which Bryce Young are we going to get? This 49er team, they've been vulnerable in the secondary. With all the injuries they have on defense, they've been vulnerable. 27th in coverage grade against 10-plus yard throws, and they've actually allowed the most completions on these throws in the NFL. If you have time back there to work with, which opponents have had lately, you can take shots downfield on this 49er team. It's just a matter of Bryce being willing and able to do so, do it accurately, go out there and be that same attacking Bryce Young that we saw against Atlanta this past week.
When you look at the 49ers scoring 41 points last week, Brock Purdy's first game back from his toe injury, obviously played well on the stat sheet. He had the 3 touchdowns. It was a big win for them. But looking at some more specific data points, 61.1 passing grade for Brock Purdy, 2 turnover-worthy plays, 3.21 time to throw in this game. I think that Purdy had some beautiful throws. I don't want to take too much away from him because he had some great throws in this game. He is the master at just those floater touch passes that just go straight into the breadbasket for these wide receivers, and it looks picture perfect when it goes well. But he also has some plays where, even last week, he doesn't throw any interceptions, but he had 2 plays that absolutely should have been intercepted. And it's like, man, I don't know if anybody gets luckier in the league with those throws than Brock Purdy does, because it feels like he's got his turnover-worthy play to actual interception ratio is very low, but those turnover-worthy plays do still exist. And that 3.21 time to throw average is, we just talked about with this with Shedeur Sanders, who has a 3.31 time to throw average. That's long. That is a really long time to be holding on to the football. You're betting on just, scramble drills and just your wide receivers getting open after the fact when you're rolling out. And Brock Purdy can make plays. I'm not trying to take away from what he does well, but it's a little closer to there's the good, there's also the bad. I need people to also realize that there is the dangerous with what Brock Purdy does. So for this game, I am going to take the Panthers. I'm going to take the Panthers in this one. I think they are going to force some takeaways for Brock Purdy, and I'll say that the Panthers win by 3. I'm going to go Panthers 24, Niners 21. I think Carolina getting 7 points is a lot of points in this game. I think that's pretty disrespectful to Carolina. I really do. I understand that we want to praise Kyle Shanahan and what he's done with the 49ers, and they're at home. I totally get that. Again, not trying to take away anything from the 49ers. I think 7 points is disrespectful to how Carolina has played.
I have my score at actually exactly that. I have it 27-20 49ers, but I'm with you. I would have a hard time believing it would be any more than that. The two problems I do have, though, is this 49er offensive line that does run block so well. And this is, I tell you all the time, the two factors for Carolina, it's two things. It's Bryce Young throwing downfield, and it's their run defense. I think this could be a game where their run defense struggles a bit, and I don't know that they have an answer for George Kittle. That's the biggest thing for me. I think on the outside with Horn and Mike Jackson, they can compete in their secondary, but the linebacker level and how we talked about earlier in the year that they have a problem covering tight ends, I think that could show up in this game too. Kittle's looked really good since he's come back from injury. I think McCaffrey and Kittle, as usual, are your two biggest matchup problems, and that really makes a difference. But you're right. If Brock Purdy does put the ball in danger, that could turn this game the other way. I'm going to go with San Francisco at home, not because I don't believe so much in Bryce Young and the momentum the Panthers have. I just think this specific matchup for the defense in the front seven is not great for them.
Yeah, I think this is a big Mike Jackson, J.C. Horn type of game, because in order to defend Christian McCaffrey and George Kittle the way that you need to, you're going to have to get help from the safety level. It's Trayvon Merritt, it's Lathan Ransom, it's guys like that. And I think that they're going to have to play cap coverage over those guys. I think to cover Christian McCaffrey, you're going to have the linebackers being aggressive a little bit. And if they are, and George Kittle gets behind you, I think he needs to be priority number one for those safeties that are playing on the back end. So that will then require J.C. Horn and Mike Jackson to really be able to play pretty locked down and pretty good coverage on the outside. So very excited to see this matchup. Excited to see how for real the Carolina Panthers are, but I am excited for Monday Night Football. There we go.